Rattle, 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 rattle. Started racing Hondas in the 70s, motorcycles. So I've always kind of liked them. In fact, when I saw the Accord hatchback come out, I thought that was the coolest damn car ever, just back when the first generation came out here in the US. And then a couple of years after that, I got a chance to start working with my brother Keith, who had the salvage yard, Honda salvage yard. And at the time I'd been driving Volkswagens, but the new CRX had just come out. I thought that was the coolest damn thing in the world. So just kind of made the jump over to Hondas. Went from something that was kind of cool, Volkswagens, to what I thought was really cutting edge, which was the Hondas. Brian at Hasport, that's kind of good. I mean, it's kind of my idea. The name was my idea. The performance, I didn't like the salvage yard all that much, so we kind of made the performance end of it. You know, Hasport's done well, so I feel kind of good about being known as Brian at Hasport. I mean, it's just one of those things where I kind of took on the face of Hasport, and you know, I feel like pretty connected to the business, so I feel pretty good about that actually. It irritates the shit out of my wife. When we first started out, we were actually doing engine swaps, not really making the mounts. Other companies were making the mounts, and we had this CRX that we got. One guy wanted a GSR motor and a CRX, and this is back in the day when you would cut out the brackets out of the frame rails and mount the engine in and do it. So it was kind of a lot more involved than it is now. It wasn't really bolt-in. But the crazy part of it was I got the car all running and everything was good. The car's running great, so I decided I wanted to go bring it down to this friend of mine who had been helping me out with it, and he worked at a Honda dealership, and I was looking at the wiring diagrams of the place. So I drove the car to his place. I had just finished it. And as I'm driving down the freeway, in front of me is a flatbed truck with a forklift on it, and this truck goes underneath the overpass, and the forks on the forklift were sticking up so high, they hit the overpass and broke off. So I'm like back there, and I see these two big I-beams or beams of steel break off, and they land on the freeway, and this is rush hour traffic, you know, right before rush hour, still pretty heavy. And I see these things sliding down the freeway, and they're just sliding back and forth, and I'm like, crap, and they go off the side, and they both parted and went into other lanes. Like, oh my God, they missed me. And then right as I got close to it, one hits this other car and then comes swinging into my part of the thing. I run over it in this customer's car that I just finished it. I blew out the two right wheels, put a huge dent in the oil pan, and of course immediately pulled over, you know, with two flats, and it was like, couldn't believe I took a customer's car out on a test drive and broke the damn car. I should probably find it pretty weird when people come up to me I've never met, but my memory's so damn bad, even people that I've met before come up to me to say hi, and I don't. So I've learned to just kind of fake it. Basically, the last trip out to SEMA, first night, we come out of a party, bump into some friends, Dave Shue and Charles Madrid, hooked up with them, went to another club, drank quite a bit. I can't tell you how depressing it is though to walk outside knowing you got to be at the show the next day and the sun's coming up. Anyway, so the latest I've stayed out is sunrise, and that made for a rough day the next day. Absolutely worthless. I am a land speed champion and a land speed crash survivor and a viral video film star. With the help of Doug over at Honda, a couple years ago, my Honda Insight went out and set multiple records out at El Mirage. We wound up the season points leader at the end of the season. We won the race with a 200-mile-an-hour run. So I got my 200-mile-an-hour club jacket and hat, which was great. We knew the car was fast though, so the next day we decided to go out and try to do 206, which we thought the car would do. And unfortunately, I rolled the car, balled it up in a little ball, spread parts all over the desert. that was unfortunate. It was a great car, super fast. I would love to still have that car. We got it going a little too fast, not enough development. That's my fault. I get kind of busy sometimes, and but you know, live and learn. No, I've crashed before. I crashed. I had a road racing car before, you know, back when I first started Hasport. It was a 1989 Civic hatchback. The first time my wife came out to watch me race, she brought my son with her, and I hit a wall at 70 miles an hour. So yeah, I just was practicing trying to get the back end to break loose around certain corners, and I just kind of overcooked it in one corner, and then it shot me off course. And at the time, there was just all gravel between the edge of the racetrack and the wall, and you know, I was just going too fast, and the car just right into a wall. I wrinkled it, smashed the front end about 1.5 feet. It actually bubbled up the roof. It's so hard. So that was my first one. Probably the RSX I'm driving right now. It's ratty. I mean, it's got dents all over it. The paint's fading. I don't do a very good job of maintaining it. In fact, I have to change the oil about 3,000 miles ago. So, but now I got to fix it up because we're going to use it as a project car and you know, put a new supercharger on it and hopefully get, I don't know, 350, 400 horsepower. So I guess it's not going to be my worst car ever anymore. The best Honda for a while, Honda gave us a Ridgeline. I love that car. It's like a giant freaking Accord that you could actually go off-roading into. It was just beautiful. More trunk space than you know what to do with. Best car ever in the world, that Ridgeline. I hope the new Ridgeline is as good as the old Ridgeline. I love that old Ridgeline. You know, I tell you, when I started working at Hasport, I started wearing black tennis shoes. And black tennis shoes with white socks drives me nuts. It just wasn't a good look. And luckily about that time, all the tennis players started doing that, and that's where I come from. I'm a tennis player, so I started wearing black socks. And I don't know why people don't like that, but I think it has to do with the fact that it makes you look like you're a tourist. So one year we got a fit for SEMA from a friend. We decided to do a K20 in it. So we had it all running, and I decided to drive it out to California to show all the guys, my friends who work at Honda at headquarters, Honda headquarters. So, so I get out there, and a bunch of the guys that work, you know, in HFP and stuff like that decide they're going to go for a ride with me. So that was great. So I'm like, we're in the car. So I don't know if you know this, but just down the street from Honda in Torrance, California is the big Toyota headquarters. So we're driving around the block, and I'm showing them how fast the car is. I'm like, yeah, this thing's awesome. So we come to a stoplight, and I'm first one to stoplight. We're right there in front of Toyota headquarters, and couldn't resist it. So, you know, when the light turned green, I just lit them up with my 3 Honda executive friends in there, and just did a burnout across the intersection in front of the Toyota headquarters. Just my way of saying hi.